Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chad, I hope you had a good week. And before we do some house cleaning, cheers. Thank you.
Nerd. Yeah, so before we get into our first topic, if you're a fan of the show and you want to support it, the best way to do that is go over to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. Sign up, subscribe over there. You get behind the scenes, bonus content, member exclusive merch. You also get access to our pre-show warm-up, which is where we have a drink and talk about whatever is on our minds while we get ready for the episode. This week we didn't record one because we did something called hang out with real people and eat good food and
We
have some drinks.
yeah, we didn't require a warm up
Yeah,
because we're
warmed up.
pretty toasty already. Yeah.
Woo! But yeah, again, that's over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. All right, let's jump right into our first topic, Jake.
We're going to talk about Dune Prophecy, season 1, episode 2.
Yes, and spoiler alert,
Um,
if you haven't seen it
Spoiler
yet,
alert. Yeah,
you should.
if you haven't
Should.
watched it, you know. I was a little hesitant on the first episode.
Same.
Um, but it did turn out pretty good in the first episode, but man, this episode fucking turned it up a notch.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, actually. Yeah. Um, what do you think? So, anybody who is watching this show, Travis Fimmel, who played or Fimmel, whatever, who played Ragnar in Vikings, is a huge character in the show. Do you think he's the main character? 'Cause I'm getting main character vibes here.
I I'm getting main like antagonist vibes.
You think he's gonna be the bad guy?
From the perspective of this show, yes. I think
I
he's
disagree.
realistically the good guy. Um but we know that the sisterhood survives. We know that the Corin family continues to run the Imperium, but I'm just intrigued with who
I
his character
think
fucking is.
I think he's the main good guy. I think he's the Paul Atreides of this show.
Hmm.
They have very much shown that the Sisterhood, the bunch of witches, their little coven, the Agatha Harknesses, uh, they're the
All
bad,
along.
they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
They're the bad guys. They're manipulating everything, and I think that uh, we don't know who he is yet, but I think that he has been hurt by them, and
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be the main like good guy, like the main character of this show.
Yeah.
I mean, time will tell. We'll see as we watch.
And
But
I have a
you said
theory.
no, I say yay.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you do. What
I
is it?
well, because he claims Desmond Hart is the name of his character. Claims that while he was on Arrakis, he was swallowed by the great sandworm,
Hmm.
and then got spit back out. And now he has these abilities. He can resist the voice from the Bene Gesserit, the
Hmm.
truthsayers, the witches, whatever. He has he can make people like self combust. Um,
Mm.
it's yeah, but I
Do
think
me, do me.
bet you like that. He's a good looking guy. I'd allow it.
I meant self-combust, but whatever,
I would let
Fred.
him. I would let him set me on fire. But good catch. Uh, uh, but because of the sandworm connection, and how in Dune we see that the witches like drink the blood from the sandworms, I think that that's how they will expand their powers. Is through
Yeah,
him.
it's not a prediction, you fucking dummy. That's in the books.
Well, I mean, like, I think that he's going to be the one that leads that connection for them to do that.
Okay.
Because how
That's
else? How else do
from.
they? Like, how else do they know to do that?
It's not a theory. It's not a theory. Oh, you think he's the first one to do it?
Yes, like he's the first one
Oh,
that
okay.
will
I was like, dude,
lead
that's not a
them.
theory. That's
I
that's a
know
well-known thing, you
it.
dork.
It happens in the movies. I know. I meant like he's the first one that has discovered this power through that, and they will use him uh, for it.
How is my camera look for you?
Looks fine.
Does
Looks
your camera look good for you?
Yours looks better, which is really annoying for me.
Yours is hella blurry, dude.
Ah, it's not hella blurry on my end, but yours looks better. But also, I don't.
Uh, I mean, as long as it doesn't show up on YouTube like that, then who gives a shit? But
Yeah,
on over here, I can't barely make out your face right now.
you can't see me.
I didn't say make out with.
Oh,
Anyways, um, yeah,
woo.
he's got a power that's weird. I don't get it, and I
Yeah,
don't get like. But they did show the worm did eat him. Mark Strong's character, uh, watched him get swallowed by a worm. So
yeah.
it's interesting.
I'm.
I also like their concept of prison, which is pretty cool. Just like, hey, we're just gonna like suspend you in air. You have to just be like awake and aware, but you can't like do anything.
Yeah, you can't
It's kind of
move.
fun.
You're just
It's
kind
kind
of
of
like
funny.
float.
Yeah.
It's very Attack the Clones, Obi-Wan Kenobi, just like sitting and spinning.
Also, the kid from this show looks more like Ezra Bridger than the live action Ezra Bridger actor. Looks like Ezra Bridger.
Yes. And we took all the time to look up their actual names.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for like the dude who plays Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka. Like he killed it. He looks great. Whatever. But this kid looks more
Yeah.
like Ezra Bridger.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's weird.
um any
There's like a really long, obnoxious sex scene in this episode.
yeah. Like we're neither of
Don't
us
get me
are
wrong,
against it.
like
Boobs, you know.
not against it, yeah, but it
It
really didn't need to be that long.
yeah.
It was weird.
It was like sex talk,
I
sex
was
talk.
I was like covering my kid's eyes for a while while like a softcore porn was just happening on the TV, and I was like, oh God.
Back to HBO, baby.
And then they started again. I was like, oh, it's over. And she covered up, and then she was like, round two. And I was like, no.
Fight.
And- yeah.
Round 2.
But she's clearly a spy.
Yeah, she
Like
was
she's just trying to
manipulating
get
him.
information. Yeah.
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 Because
So,
even later, like when the things that he told her, her dad, who's he has like the royal fleet or the fleet that
mhm.
he's trying to like offer up for.
Well, because his dad is Mark Strong, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
But when her dad, who's like marrying off his or tried to marry off his son to become the new emperor, like reveals the information that uh, Mark Strong's son said. Like she looks at him and just kind of like winks and is like, "Oh, you got played, buddy. You
Do you
dumb."
recognize the girl who plays Mark Strong's wife?
Who plays the Empress? I do from The Witcher.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. She looks like, and I mean this in the nicest way. I don't mean it in a mean way. She looks like the mom from Malcolm in the Middle.
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously now, like, you would be like, no, because the mom from Malcolm in the Middle is probably like 60 something.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, but yeah,
I
from
can
the,
see that.
yeah, from The Witcher. It's pretty wild. She kind of plays the same.
Yeah, Queen Bee, if you will, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
wanting full control and power.
See you next Tuesday kind of person. Yeah.
Absolutely. We also get kind of like a trippy sequence from one of the younger witches to try and communicate with her ancestors, and
Doesn't go well.
it does not go well. But it was really cool how it was shot. Like it got creepy, and then you're like, oh, okay, okay, a little trippy, and then got creepy again, and you're like, oh fuck.
Hmm. I mean, I didn't think it was creepy, but you're kind of a bitch when it comes to
Scary
that
stuff.
kind of stuff. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
Again,
I got it. Whatever.
you're a weenie. Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
weenie.
Oh, ouch. Um,
Can you think
I
of
don't know if I have
anything?
anything else for this.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
cool.
Let's move on.
Do you have a nice transition?
Um, I didn't. I didn't. I should have. The way that that show ended, there was really nothing that I could have gone from. But anyways, we're gonna talk about sponsor number one. It's Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, and we'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
Okay, everyone, it is now time for Trivial Nerd Suit after a quick outfit change from both of us. This week's question is for Jake. It's provided by me. If you would like to submit a question to try and stump one of us, reach out to us on our website over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com/trivial nerd suit. Use the contact form. Just mention who the question is for. This does go to a third party so that we cannot cheat. Jake, are you ready?
Ready?
All right. Oh, shit. I'm not ready. I need to send this in our chat so that you can read along.
Oh, nice. Well, if anyone's curious what happened, Chad fell asleep last night in the middle of our episode. So we are picking back up today.
That-
If you're watching this on YouTube, that's the outfit change.
Yeah, that was a great deflection from Jake.
I fell asleep. I went upstairs to check on my wife and kid while Chad was restarting his computer, and I passed out rocking my son to sleep. So, sorry.
Would not wake up. It's fine.
No,
It was a long day.
it was a very long day. Fun
Okay.
day, but long day.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, here comes the question in the chat for you. The question is, in the MCU, Jane Foster says that the Bifrost resembles what theoretical connection point commonly referred to as a wormhole?
Oh shit. Was it it was hold on, I know it. The Eyes or Rainbow Bridge?
No, that's just what the Bifrost is a rainbow bridge.
It was
In Norse mythology, it's the rainbow bridge.
it is, I know it. I know it. Hold
I
on.
have a hint if you want it.
Hold on. I think I know it.
The word bridge is in it. That's a
Yeah.
free hint for you.
Isn't it like Heisen something Bridge? All right, give me the thing.
The connection point is named after this famous physicist known for his theory of relativity.
Eisenbridge. Einstein Bridge.
You, oh, you were so close. Einstein-Rosen bridge.
Einstein Rosen Bridge. I was very close. Fucking lame.
Eisenbridge, Einstein bridge. Just missed the Rosen.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to submit a question to potentially be shared on the show, try and stump one of us. If you can stump us, you'll win something. Again, that's www.allthingsnerdpod.com/trivial nerdsuit.
All right. Well, let's talk about some nerd news and upcoming events, rumors, blah, blah, blah. I think the biggest thing, let's start off with something sad so we can end on something happy. The drummer from My Chemical Romance is dead. He died at age 44.
Yeah, Bob
I
Breyer.
don't think that a reason has been released yet. The autopsy report hasn't been released
No.
yet. So
They
don't know
don't
what happened, but
suspect foul play from what I heard, but they haven't officially released cause of death.
yeah.
Because when
That's
they found
bummer.
him, like, nothing was stolen,
Yeah.
anything like that.
I don't want to say drugs, but it kinda is a common theme in famous people that die before
Young.
their years. You know,
Yeah.
hopefully that's not the case because I
He,
don't want to sound like an asshole,
I
but
mean, he wasn't the most recent drummer in the band, but he was the longest running drummer. It
yeah.
was like 2004 to like 2016, I think.
Mhm.
Something like that. But
No.
yeah, rest in peace, Bob Breyer. Well, autocorrect says Captain American is going through its third series of reshoots. Yeah, Captain America Brave New World, after some test screenings and stuff like that, still disappointed people, which is a bummer because the trailer looked rad.
Hmm.
But they're doing a third round of reshoots. They're kind
We'll
of
see.
really close
We'll
because
see.
that's supposed to be February.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to get pushed again. Who knows?
Mm.
Hope not.
Push it.
Push it real good.
Thor 5 rumored to include the Eternals and the Return of Hercules, aka Brett Goldstein, aka Winnie the Bish.
AKA Roy Kent.
Okay. I think this is really cool because I enjoyed the Eternals. I think that the main villain of the movie was kind of lacking. Um, but I really enjoyed that movie. And
Yeah.
if they're gonna continue with that, we've seen it in the trailer for Captain America. It's a circle. That was it.
Tiamat.
Tiamat, the hand, the giant like hand sticking out of the ocean, now is there, and they show that in Captain America, so you can't ignore what happened in the Eternals movie. So this would be a cool way to keep them in the loop. I really want to see what happened.
Yeah, because they
I
canceled their sequel, which was
Yeah,
a bummer.
and I really want Jon Snow as Black Knight.
Yeah,
So
but
let's
also
go.
like Mahershala Ali, his Blade, was
Yeah,
also teased in that movie, and
yeah,
that's a whole other thing. But
yeah.
it is cool that they're not just forgetting the Eternals. I enjoyed that movie.
I've seen it like 3 times now.
Yeah, it.
Yeah,
The bummer is that the bad guy was in the room with us the entire time,
yeah.
because the deviants in the comics are
What?
a bigger deal. But
Yeah, yeah. I thought the fight sequences were great. The acting was awesome. Gemma Chan,
yeah,
gorgeous. Um, yeah, it was just Jon Snow, or sorry, that's not his name.
Kit
Kit
Harington.
Harington.
He's
Love
Jon
Kit
Snow.
Harington.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I want them to return, and even if it's not in their own movie, at least they're still going to be a part of it. So that's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree to that silver lining. Later this month, Craven is finally coming out. I'm probably very naively optimistic for this, just because of the Red Label trailer, where it's
Yeah.
bloody and gory and just raw
That's the
fight
only thing
scenes.
that gives me like some hope for it is that that it's rated R, it's bloody, gory,
Yeah,
let's do that. But
especially with a character like Craven.
yeah. But they also did well, they didn't make it rated R, but they also made the Venom movies, which is a psycho killer that bites people's heads off, and they dropped the ball on that 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
Well, two that I'm sure of. I haven't seen the third one yet. Yeah. Morbius, literally a movie about a vampire, a blood-sucking fucking creature of the night.
The night.
And they dropped the ball on that.
Yeah.
I
Just
just
Sony stop.
these
Just
villain
let
movies are just not good. Madam Web.
yeah, just let the I don't know,
I don't think
the
you even picked the ball up on that one to drop it. That just started on the bottom and stayed there.
and they just kind of like kicked it and they're like do something.
Yeah.
And
And
it
now
didn't.
they're doing this one and they're like, but it's rated R. It's gonna be so much better. Is it? Is
Yeah.
it? My money's on probably fucking not.
I think that Sony should just, I don't know, let the company that created the characters have control over the characters.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they have with Spider-Man. Like, let them be part of it instead of being like, no, we want all the money for ourselves. And then be like, but the only reason people are going to see it is because they're hoping that you'll have Spider-Man in it. And then they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. They give you like tree people.
What?
Looking at you, Madam Web.
Whatever are you
Uh,
talking about? Oh my god, Ben and Mary Parker? What are we going to name him? We don't know. Or Richard, not Ben. Sorry.
Richard Parker. Have I told you my theory? Well, it's not really a theory. It's just like a fun realization about it.
Hmm.
About in the Amazing Spider-Man, with Andrew Garfield, the guy the Indian guy, unfortunately he passed away now, but the Indian guy that's in that movie, he was also in like Jurassic World,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he was also in Life of Pi. The
Yeah.
name of the tiger in Life of Pi is Richard Parker, and then he was in the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's fun. That's just a
Yeah,
fun connection.
yeah. That's all. You can go now.
Yeah, not really a theory.
Like I said, it's not a theory. It was just
Yeah.
like a weird realization, and I was like, "That's interesting." That's it. That's
Yeah.
all I had on it. We can move on.
God, what a good movie though, Life of Pi.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it was a good one.
we got a teaser for Lilo and Stitch, the
Hmm.
live action. The humans will be live action, but once again, the internet won from
Yep.
bullying the animation team. Be like, do better,
Yep.
and then they did,
We
and
did this with Sonic. They had just that horse shit fucking weird looking. Ugh.
I mean, they gave it like that Sonic like proportionate eyes, but also like strangely
Like
good
teeth.
human teeth. Yeah,
Yeah. Teefies.
yeah, teeths.
But they did that with when they first released what Stitch was gonna look like, right?
Yeah,
Stitch is the alien.
yeah,
Yeah. It was not great, Cotton.
yeah.
And everybody flipped out about it, and now they released the teaser trailer for it, and it's
So much better.
cartoon movie accurate.
Yeah,
Looks great.
like
I'm excited
you
for
don't
this.
have
I
to
love that movie.
make a cartoon anamorphic character look more human.
Yeah,
It's still a cartoon anamorphic character
yeah,
just
exactly.
interacting with real people.
Excitingly for me, well, I'm a little bit
Apprehensive.
weird, yeah, apprehensive about it. But the Superman Legacy, or no, it's just called Superman now. They changed it from Superman Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Superman trailer should be coming this month, December. James Gunn confirmed on Twitter that it would be out before the new year. So,
Yeah,
uh,
and that it's
that's
done.
yeah.
So
Oh, and Frank Grillo said he watched the trailer and literally had goosebumps. But Frank Grillo's in the movie, so he's kind of biased. But
yeah. Oh my god, I look so good there. Goosebumps.
speaking of Frank Grillo,
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Sorry, Jane Silent Bob, or Clerks, but Creature Commandos comes out. If you're watching this on release day, tomorrow, on HBO Max or just Max, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I I'm excited.
it's gonna be good. We know it's gonna be good. I just think that James Gunn's kind of a fucking
He's a real
twat.
git, you know.
He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
That's
and he like owns it, but in a more assholey way than he
yeah.
needs
It
to.
just makes it worse. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, but we get it. You make good movies,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all.
That's it.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the Superman trailer as well.
I think
Still a
that's what's
little
bothering me the most
apprehensive.
about it is that I know Superman is gonna be good,
Hmm.
but when we first heard about it, I was so butthurt that Henry Cavill wasn't gonna be Superman anymore that I was like, "Fuck this! I don't want to see this shit." And now that like it's like coming, I just like
Gross.
I'm just like I know it's gonna be good. I know
Yeah.
it's gonna be good. I actually don't know. I've never watched. Oh, I saw him in Twisters, but that movie wasn't that good. I was gonna say I don't know how good of an actor Corn Sweat is.
Cornset was in Twisters.
Yeah, he was one of the assholes. He wore like the frontwards hat, big tall guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they literally made a those like the crew or not the crew, the cast of that movie Twisters. When they found out that he was gonna be playing Superman while they were filming that movie, and they made like a video about it and posted it everywhere. They're like, "This is our Superman."
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool. I did not know that.
yeah.
I also didn't care too much for Twisters.
Yeah, that's
So
literally what I said.
I,
I haven't
so I
seen
just
I haven't seen anything else with him in it other than that, and his role wasn't that big, so it's
Mhm.
like I don't really have a whole lot to go on. He looks the part for sure. He's
Yeah, he
huge. He's like
does.
6'4". He's got jacked, obviously, for the movie. Um, so he looks great, but I don't know. I've never seen him. I don't have anything to reference.
Yeah.
I could talk about Superman all day. You can, and we already did Creature Commandos. So if nothing gets you hyped about it, I don't know what will.
Oh, thanks for the layup, bud. If that doesn't get you hyped, but you need that hyping, you should check out our other sponsor, which is Ray's Energy Drinks. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 crash, lots of great flavors. And if energy drinks aren't your thing, totally get it. They have other things to choose from: protein-packed desserts, pre-workout, supplements, all that stuff. Just and some of it's plant-based, which is also rad. So listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk about Superman and Lois.
What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, friends, we are going to talk about Superman and Lois, episode 9. This is the episode before the series finale. This week, tomorrow, Monday, is the series finale. I thought this episode went super hard. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of on the fence about this show. Not a bad way. I mean, it's just I'm a Smallville guy, you know. So I've been like, well, whatever. But I think this episode went super hard. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed the show from the start, but
Here and there.
definitely has it's a CW like dramatized show
Yeah.
sprinkled throughout, and you're like, I could have done without that episode or this one or that one. You know?
Yeah. I will say that they nailed Doomsday.
Yeah.
Like the look is amazing. It has been, I mean, and that's across the board. And no offense to Smallville, because I thought Smallville did a really good job with Doomsday as well. And I hate shitting on Zack Snyder because I love Zack Snyder, but this Doomsday is the best Doomsday. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong. The only thing that bothers me about this Doomsday is that you can still see like the Superman emblem because it was like the Bizarro Superman that became
Yeah.
this.
There are different. There is that version.
Okay.
That's not. I mean even that version is not a Superman variant or whatever. But there is a version of Doomsday with the S on its chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I can't recall from fucking I think what they did really good is that they and this is kind of what's cool about it is, or why it maybe is my favorite, at least like looking adaptation, is that they took a few different things from different versions of Doomsday. The breathing fire thing, not really a thing. But in a run of Superman, it is a thing. The S on the chest, that's not really like generally something that's there, but in a run of Superman, it is.
Yeah.
So they kind of like took little pieces here and there of different Doomsday things and made their own thing, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
it worked out well.
I would say that this is the best looking Doomsday that we've gotten, and I would say Smallville's the second best
Yeah, same.
for
I
live
agree with that.
action.
Yeah, live action.
Oh, you know,
But yeah, I know what you mean,
yeah,
and I agree with you. Yeah, for sure. Because
yeah,
before this show came out, I used to say that Smallville had the best looking Doomsday out of anything that was out, and that
yeah.
included Zack Snyder's
Ninja Turtle,
giant Ninja Turtle. Yeah. But this
Donatello. You know,
this one looks fucking awesome.
I completely agree. Um, I mean, the finale is this week. It'll be out by the time that this episode airs. What are your theories? Because the way that this episode ends is Clark is fighting Doomsday again, and Lex is in his mech suit, but it was stolen. It's John Henry Iron's suit, but what are your theories as to what's going to happen in this final episode?
I think I think we're gonna get uh X-Force. I think we're gonna get John, Jordan, John Henry, his daughter. Um, I know that there's a surprise. Well, it's supposed to be a surprise guest appearance. My uh, my idea or my ideal idea would be Melissa Benoist as Supergirl uh,
Ooh.
coming to help, and I think that will give because in the trailer for the last episode shows like Clark and or sorry Superman and Lex fighting, but that means that either Doomsday got beat very early in the episode or somebody else is dealing with Doomsday, which would be cool if like the boys and Supergirl were working together to fight Doomsday while Superman is fighting Lex in his mech suit.
And
Um,
Melissa, I don't know how to pronounce her.
Benny Yoist.
Benoist. That's who played Supergirl on the CW, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which
Mm-hmm.
is what introduced Tyler Hoechlin as Superman for her cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That would be dope. They said that there is a surprise like guest appearance in this episode, and I think that would be fitting since, like you said, her show is what introduced Tyler Hoechlin as Superman for that universe. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be sweet.
And give like a really strong send off for her Supergirl as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Since everything is this is like the end of CW,
All of the CW.
Arrowverse,
Yeah.
DC, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
That would be rad. And again, I think in the end of it, it'll just be Clark deciding, or maybe not even deciding. Maybe he loses all his powers from this fight, whatever, and the boys take over.
You think both boys survive?
I would really like to see Jordan die. Not because I'm an asshole or anything like that. I just think one of them has to die for the other one to step up. And I know from the comics that Jonathan Kent becomes Superman eventually. So
Yeah.
I assume they're gonna either do it, they're either gonna kill him, or like I said to you, maybe I said it on the podcast, they're gonna do some bullshit where he and um, Lana's daughter, I forget her name, just fuck
Sarah.
off together.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like fuck off together and like let's travel the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, since we already saw Jordan kind of like take that route in the most of this season, being
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna be a superhero anymore. So he may just decide like, hey, my brother is better at this. I'm just gonna step aside and live my life and let him do this superhero thing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Those are my two things. I don't know. What do you got?
I mean, we have talked about that off camera. I think that Jordan dying would be more impactful for Jonathan because Jonathan also this season, since he got his powers, has been a little bit more arrogant and a little bit more quick tempered and ready
Mm,
to be like, why don't we just fucking kill him? You know, like a little bit more aggressive.
mm-hmm.
So I think that if Jordan were to die, like sacrificing himself, maybe in a way so that Jonathan doesn't just full on go murderous,
Mm-hmm.
could be like that transition and like awakening for him.
Yeah.
But also, you know, the show is kind of a conglomeration of how many storylines
I'd also
from the
very much
comics.
like to see the boys in their super suits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope so, but
that'd be cool.
it might be Smallville finale esque. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
cut to black. You know,
Well, that's no, because they showed Clark in Smallville. They showed him in his Superman suit for like the last like 10 minutes of the episode,
I
and then did that at the very
then
end.
did the
So,
iconic running, tearing
yeah,
open. Yeah,
which I thought was beautiful. I loved that. Sorry, we're talking about Superman and Lois. Yeah, I'd like to see the kids in there. Wow, that sounded creepy. I'd like to see Superman's kids in their super suits. I think that'd be really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's all I really got.
We'll
Unless
find
you
out.
got something.
Is
Yeah,
Do we know, is this going to be regular runtime or is this going to be like a 2 hour
that's a
episode?
good. I can look it up real quick.
Yeah.
It'd be way cooler if they did like an hour and a half, 2 hour. Realistically, it'd be like an hour and 15 minutes with all the commercials. But let's see.
Yeah, but that's better than realistically 37 minutes with all the
Yeah.
commercials. You mentioned kind of, you know, like a whole group team up X Force style with John Henry Irons and his daughter, uh, is it Natalie? I think. Um, but they don't have suits because Lex took
Yeah, and then the
John
kids
Henry's and then the
destroyed
kid
hers.
destroyed hers. But they were working with the DoD, so maybe they're working on new suits for them.
Well, I think what we might get to see is like after Superman is no longer Superman, right? We
Hmm.
might get to see just like you said, like a final suit up of like everybody that's stepping in for him, which either both the boys or one of them. But I'd like to see John Henry Irons in his like comic accurate suit with the cape would be dope.
With the S and the cape. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be fucking sick.
taking on the
It is
steel.
a standard length episode. It's only 43 minutes. I know.
Bummer.
Yeah, that is a bummer.
A lot has to happen in those 43 minutes.
Yeah.
And because I watch it online instead of with actual cable, that's a lot of Tide commercials that I'm gonna have to watch the same one
The
over and over.
same commercial over and over again. Yeah. I
Rinse
think
it off.
I think I think because it left off the last episode left off in that final fight, right?
Yeah,
I think all of that is going to be probably your first half of the episode, and the second half is going to be who's left and all that shit.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
we from the teaser that we got for this episode, we know that Lex makes a play to try and murder Lois. Also,
Yeah. And Jordan, there's a part in the episode where he's like choking Jordan in the mech suit.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So we'll see. We will see.
yeah.
Or
Well,
maybe Clark kills Lex and like that's what makes him be like, I can't be Superman. I broke the rule.
yeah,
You know? I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, you said it. We'll see. Let's shift now to talking about Arcane. you and I are both still on season 1. I know that this has been like a huge show for
Mm.
gamers and nerds across the spectrum. But we're going to talk about episode 3 and 4 from season 1.
Mhm.
We were late to the ball. Neither of us started watching it until after.
To the ball. Okay,
Well,
Cinderella. Uh,
that's a
I was
common.
late.
That's a common phrase. Um,
Yeah. What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
hot.
I was late to the party. Chad was late to the ball. Um,
Oh, but neither of us started until after Twin Cities Con, which is all I was trying to say. And then you had to bully me.
You bullied yourself. I just pointed it out.
Episode over. No, I'm just kidding. Podcast ended.
I fucking love this show. I didn't play the games, so I'm not like super knowledgeable about it or anything like that. But which is based off of League of Legends, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, but the show is fucking awesome. It's pretty bloody. I had to cover my kid's eyes a couple times. But it's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
I love the voice actors. We got Haley Steinfeld, and now after episode 3, going into episode 4, we get Ella Purnell, um, as Powder, aka Jinx, aka Winnie the Bish. Twice this episode. Huzzah!
And then I don't remember the actual actor's name. We just know him as Lieutenant Douche from
Oh,
Lucifer.
Espizota.
No,
Espiz.
Kevin Alejandro.
Yeah, that was close. Uh,
um,
those
Harry.
of you who can't see this, if you're just listening, I'm of color.
Yeah,
I can say
he
that.
can get away with it a lot more. Um, Also, Harry Lloyd plays Victor, who is Jace's assistant. Um, he's done a ton of voice acting, but he also played Charles Xavier in Legion. But I mean, he's voiced characters from Final Fantasy to Star Wars to Halo and Arcane.
Isn't fucking Josh Keaton is
Uh,
in this?
Josh Keaton was in the earlier episodes, I believe.
Yeah.
And Yuri, I don't know his last name off the top of my head, who also voiced Spider-Man for the video games,
Nice.
for the most recent Spider-Man video games.
Yeah. So the voice cast is awesome.
Yeah,
What's really cool, I mean, let's talk about the actual episodes here.
yeah.
Episode 3 was so far, I'm only 4 in, but so far episode 3 is my fucking favorite.
Hmm.
That episode was so dope. I literally texted you after I watched it and I was like, yo, episode 3 is fire, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. A lot of action, good storytelling. Um, um, pretty. I mean, what's it? Oh God,
Yeah.
Violet. Oh
Violet.
man, she puts on the gauntlets and takes on like fucking 7 people by herself. I was like, yo, badass.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fucking dope.
To the point where they break.
Hmm.
So Vander has to like makeshift them later because they
Hmm.
were his gauntlets. Yeah, and I don't think Vander's dead.
I think you were right on that. I mean, spoiler alerts. We should have started with that. So sorry.
Well, we're
If
talking
you,
about last season, you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
know.
But I think you're right. I think that creature is Vander.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Silco found a way to keep him alive and keep pumping him with that shimmer.
Because they show he like looks at him while at the end of that episode where he's like dead before he picks up Powder or
Yeah.
like ends up taking her in.
Yeah.
He's looking at his body, but they never show what happened after that. But I know from a clip that I stupidly watched by accident and that Jinx does the sacrifice play and kills herself to save her sister, Vi. But as she's like falling, because that creature is like attached to her like leg, trying
Mm-hmm.
to like she as she's falling, she like grabs his face in like an endearing way
Mm-hmm.
before like lighting off a grenade and killing them both. So I think you were like, I think that's him, and I think you're right.
Yeah, because when Vander dies at the end of episode 3, he took the shimmer because he needed to protect Vi. Had his opportunity to, he had to decide, save Vi or kill
Hmm.
Silco, yeah. Um, and he chooses to save Vi, picks her up, jumps out the window. He becomes the human cushion.
Mm.
And he's kind of like erratically breathing, you know, but and you see some of the like the vibrant purple when people are like jacked on this stuff
Hmm.
start to like leave his veins, but you still see that his veins are like just like a dim purple, but he just stops moving. So I think that he wasn't fully dead because I think that
Hmm.
that stuff is keeping him alive, and then Silco is going to exploit that.
Yeah.
But we won't know for a while.
Yep. But what's her face? Powder makes her monkey bombs and ends up killing like all of her friends except for her sister.
Yeah.
Um, and so Via's like, "You're Jinx, get out of here," blah blah blah. And then so she gets like abandoned basically, and then Silco takes her in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's between that episode and episode 4, there is a time jump. Jinx is all grown up now.
Yeah.
And voiced by Ella Parnell.
Yeah.
Yay.
And super long pigtails. That seems so impractical. They
Yeah.
like reach her ankles. That can't be safe. OSHA would not allow that. Um, but also during that time jump, because we see in episode 3 that Jace and Victor find a way to stabilize those arcane
Yeah.
crystals.
The Hex Tech.
Yeah, and they start calling it hex tech instead of magic.
Oh, those two bore the shit out of me. I really like this show, but that whole storyline is so boring to me. So far, hopefully it gets better, but right
Yeah.
now,
It's well, in episode 4, Jace gets appointed to the council of
mm,
is it Pilator? Piltor?
whatever.
The city, whatever.
Mm.
Of their like local government. And I think it's going to get a little bit more interesting with those political dynamics, but so far the politics of it have been they've been
Yeah.
the sandbag of the storytelling.
Hmm. Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's what most of episode 4 is centered on.
Yeah.
It starts off really strong, ends really
Hmm.
strong, but
Hmm.
collectively it's maybe a quarter of the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't want to spend too much time here because, whatever,
yeah.
but it is sick. We do get to see adult. Well, I don't know if she's an adult, maybe a teenager, and she goes by Jinx now instead of Powder,
Hmm.
confronting Vi for like a split second, and then she shoots her in the back.
Yeah.
But she ain't dead. Um, I thought that was really cool. And then at the end of the episode, we know that Vi is in prison, and then the detective chick who's not really a detective, she's just like mall security.
Yeah.
She's Paul Blart, mall
She
cop.
wants to be a police officer. Her family's very rich, so they pull the strings so that she's never in any real danger. But
Yeah.
she's like, I can do this. Go on.
That was it. I mean, they show Vi in prison, and that girl is going to talk to her now, and she's trying to. I mean, Jinx killed like 6 police officers in an explosion
Yeah.
because she's a little.
Yeah, she's lost
I
her
don't
mind.
know.
She's made like mannequin dummies of Milo and I don't remember the guy with the
Yeah,
goggles name.
of their like dead friends
Yeah, of
that she killed.
the people that she killed with that monkey bomb in episode
Hmm.
3. Yeah, it's wild. And the police officer's name is Caitlin. I guess she
Ah,
becomes a bigger part
oh, I'm
of
sure. Oh,
things
yeah,
moving
I
forward.
definitely pick up on that, but
We'll see though. Uh, I like the show. At first, I was like, "Oh, this animation style is weird," but it's growing on me.
I like it. It's very video gamey, which is what it's based off of. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
sorry, sorry. They're down here. I could hear Cal like outside my door. Yeah, literally.
uh, do you have any last remarks about this show
No,
so far? Okay, cool.
no.
Well, then let's close this B out.
But before we close out this episode, we are going to talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you got?
A few things. Well, we've both been watching the TV show Shrinking. Amazing. I'll let you talk about that a little bit more. I watched We Live in Time with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh, and not only did I cry a couple of times, I ugly cried at one point. This movie was amazing. And then I also watched a documentary called The Story of PlayStation. It was terribly produced. Like I couldn't appreciate the cool facts about PlayStation and Sony because of how bad the production value of this documentary was. Which is a bummer because the PlayStation was my first ever game console. I never had a PS3, but I've had all the other PlayStations, including the PlayStation Vita or whatever it was called, the little handheld one. Yeah, there were really cool
Um,
facts, but I was so distracted because of how just terrible the quality of this documentary was.
Bummer.
What about you?
Well, I also watched Shrinking, which was a really sad episode. And then well, whatever. We don't have to go into it. I know you said I could talk about it a little more, but
I was just giving you the option if you wanted to. You don't have to if
yeah,
you don't
it's
want
just
to.
sad. And then we watched. I've been continuing to watch House, um, which is also the episode that we watched that night was also very sad. So my wife was crying all night. And she's like, "Why are you making me watch these?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know." But yeah, not much else outside of that. It was Thanksgiving this weekend. Everybody's busy. We had to run around a million times, but yeah,
Yeah, fair
that's
enough.
all I really have. If I'm sure there's something else I just can't think of, but yeah, no, there's not. We talked about it last night. It was Dune.
Fair. Well, thank you everyone for sticking through this episode. We really appreciate you. We do want to give a shout out to Marty over at Digicat Tech. He's the guy that's been behind the scenes, updating our website, helping us with some digital marketing and stuff like that. So if you need those things, reach out to Marty at Digicat Tech. Also, if you like actual play D&D podcast, check out the Kobolds in the Basement podcast, which is an actual play podcast that I host. And again, buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd if you want to be a super special premium subscriber. Other than that, we love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and this has been the All Things Nerd podcast.